Video number 214, subtracting multi-digit whole numbers using the pen and paper style. However, in the first one, I think it should be pointed out that you can definitely use mental math strategy here. We could just, again, with subtraction, think about the distance between the two numbers is the difference in the two numbers. So, obviously, if this was 73 minus 50, the answer would be 23. So it's 2 more than that, which is 25. So at least for the first example, you still could use mental math strategies. But in this video, we're going to be going ahead and working with a couple larger subtractions. And those two, I believe, we're not really going to want to use mental math strategies, although you could use a pretty good mental math strategy for the second one. But we're just going to go ahead and surrender and use the long method, I suppose, which is the pen and paper style. So 73 minus 48, we're going to put the 73 on top, take away the 48. In this case, we have 3 over the 8. Well, you can't do 3 over 8, so we're going to call it 13, and then bring the 7 down to a 6. Now think about that. That's 6 and a 13. That's still a value of 73. So it's not like we've changed the question. We've just changed the way the question looks so that we can perform the subtraction on the right. 13 minus 8 is now 5, and then 6 minus 4 is 2. That's how you get 25. So the 73 didn't change. We just wrote it as a 613, a 60 and 13 instead. Okay, next one. Put the first number on top. So then, of course, we do the same thing. We have 3 minus 8. We changed the 3 to a 13. Now, here's how I like to do this. Instead of borrowing from the 9, I prefer to borrow from the 479 to make it 478. Now, I didn't really do anything different than what you would see this traditionally taught. I just prefer to borrow from the entire rest of the number. And then we just subtract down. 8 minus 7 is 1. 7 minus 5 is 2. Bring down the 4. You're all done. So you don't have to do that, but that's just the way I like to think of it. Next one, 4,006,009 minus 583,492. And then 9 minus 2 is 7. That's easy. And then the next one, here's what I do. I call this a 10, and then I borrow from the 60. See, I wouldn't borrow from all of this. I would just borrow from the 60 and call it 59. See that? Then I got my 9 minus 4 is 5. 5 minus 3 is 2. Then I would use a 10 here and borrow from the 40 and bring it down to a 39. Then I got 10 minus 8 is 2. 9 minus 5 is 4. Just bring the 3 down and I'm all set. See, now in this third example, my idea of borrowing from a larger group of numbers worked out. So that's why I decided to borrow from the 479 in the second example, because the strategy does become helpful over here. All right? So there is subtraction using the pen and paper style, and good times.